From the ruins of Constantinople would rise one of the world's most magnificent churches, the centerpiece for a new religion and a monument to Byzantine engineering. 532 AD. Although Emperor Justinian had survived the Nika riots, the heart of the Byzantine Empire lay in ruins. Justinian would reassert his power and rebuild the capital in the name of God and himself.
What Justinian did after his imperial army put down the riot was to immediately begin to refurbish the city and proclaim to the citizens that he was in control and that everything was right in the Roman Empire.
Now, we remember Justinian not because he was ruthless, but we remember the period of Justinian because he has left us such an incredible architectural legacy.
Justinian's first priority was to rebuild the city's main cathedral, the Church of Holy Wisdom. We know it today as the Hagia Sophia. Justinian appointed two Byzantine architects, Isidorus and Anthemius, to design the church. Both were professors of mathematics and physics, skilled in theory, but with no real construction experience.
The architects of Hagia Sophia were not the standard architects of the day. They, for better or worse, were professors. We professors sometimes don't have the most sound practical knowledge.
But the visionary emperor gave them a free hand with only two demands: build it as quickly as possible and make it unlike anything else on Earth. Construction began just 6 weeks after the Nika riots.
It took years to put together building teams, to bring together all of the building materials that were needed for a great project in the empire. Justinian did it practically instantly.
Isidorus and Anthemius' design for the cathedral was revolutionary in concept and unprecedented in scale. They set out to construct the largest dome ever built, 100 feet across. They began by using an architectural device first attempted by the Romans but never fully achieved, the pendentive. The first phase saw the construction of 4 massive arches on which the dome would rest. This was followed by the erection of the pendentives, rounded triangles that connected the dome's circular base to the square base below and distributed its weight evenly among the 4 arches. By adding smaller semi-domes, an even larger area could be created. Using pendentives, Justinian's architects were able to construct an enormous dome that appeared to hover in mid-air. Soaring 184 feet, it was 30 feet higher than the Statue of Liberty. The nave, over which the dome hung, was a massive open space, 229 by 245 feet.
There were 100 teams of workmen, each with 100 men, with half of them working on the north side of the building, half of them working on the south side of the building, and competing to create the great building.
A church of unprecedented proportions grew up magically, almost magically, faster than any kind of construction at that time on that scale.
Hagia Sophia was dedicated in 537 AD, less than 6 years after the first stone was laid.
Justinian was very proud of his church, as he should be. It was a great idea, it was a great conceptual plan. The implementation of that plan, the actual structure, was risky.
A more experienced or pragmatic builder would have seen that trying to build a dome of this size with the materials given in a short amount of time would have been dicey at best. Before the construction was even finished, the 4 piers hold up the arches started to buckle and collapse. 20 years later, an earthquake happens, boom, whole dome comes in. Now, Isidorus the Younger, the nephew of the original Isidorus that built it, addressed the flaws in the dome, had to reconstruct it. One of the flaws, most important one, is that he raised the pitch of the dome because more vertical load of a higher dome will drive the weight into the ground, which is good support. A short, squatty dome With horizontal load, drive the weight sideways, and kaboom, the dome falls in. So Isidorus raises the dome 21 feet, boom, and voila, you got the dome you see today.
Hagia Sophia was known for more than just its novel design. Even the columns were elaborately adorned with monograms of the emperor and his empress.
We are never allowed to forget that this is the great achievement of Justinian and Theodora.
Justinian had created a centerpiece for Christianity, making Constantinople the capital of the Christian world.
He got an architect that was going to make a grand statement. And a grand statement was made. The largest church in Christendom, the greatest dome space in the world until the Renaissance. He got a building that dwarfed any of the great baths of ancient Rome or any of the great temples of the ancient world.